Please welcome from Turning Point USA, based in Fresno, but also down here, Matt White. Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate it, Paul. And that's big news. Oh, we're getting the rain. Oh. All right. Slipping around. There we go. All righty. Maybe back up a little bit. But yeah, just big news. I know that Tulare Right to Life, I know he mentioned a pro-life. That's a big issue of mine that I hold dear to my heart. And we're always saying that we're fighting for freedom, but if we can't fight to defend the right of the unborn at its most vulnerable state, how are we going to do everything else? And I just appreciate all the work that they're doing, because I know he talked about making it a sanctuary city. We need to make this a sanctuary state. And then the country next. But again, good afternoon. I appreciate all the different groups that made this happen. Of course, Tulare County Coalition for Freedom, Unmasked Tulare County, Blessings of Liberty, and of course, Bethel Church. Can we give them a round of applause? It's so incredible when you have so many groups at the grassroots level be able to do what we have here. It's really special. This doesn't happen in every city and every county in this state, but it needs to be happening a lot more. My name is Matthew White. You guys heard Turning Point USA. If you guys do not know, Turning Point USA is a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and we are organizing high school and college students to fight for freedom on their campus. It was started by Charlie Kirk in 2012, 18-year-old kid, and he had a dream of being able to fight for the country as a young person and decided, I'm going to start Turning Point USA. And just looking back about 10 years ago when this thing all started, he almost gave up on a vision. And I was just talking to my leader, Abdul, back here. And what Turning Point USA has been able to mobilize so many young people over the past 10 years that may or not have been in the movement. And now we're in the movement. And I just want to make an announcement before I get into my speech. If you guys don't know, Charlie Kirk is going to be visiting Fresno at Cornerstone Church, April 28th at 7 p.m. downtown Fresno. So Charlie Kirk will be in town. Awesome. I'll get into my speech before it starts raining too much. So again, I'm Matthew White. I work for the largest pro-American student organization in the country. And every day I get to empower young people across the state of California to take up a sword on their campus and empower them to push back against the woke nonsense being taught in our schools. Yep. I go to the high school and college campuses so you don't have to do that. That's what we do. In the past year, I've attended more school board meetings and visited so many more campuses that I can't even remember. And they all have the common theme. The first thing I've come to realize is that people that we were trusted to represent us in office aren't representing us. They've decided to choose Sacramento over the well-being of your kids, where they're masking your kids 8+ hours a day, masking them in sports. And it was just, I know Greg had mentioned the midterms were a big reason why that was repealed. But a lot of it, I say, is to the students that stood up against this nonsense in the education system. And the last thing that I realize is that the more and more I see, most of the education system we see is just as corrupt as people like Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom. And I think we all know that. Now, there are things that give me hope. The first thing first is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That is my first hope. That is everything. It gives me the power and the strength to get up and do what I do every single day. And the other thing that gives me hope are the people here today. It's the people at the grassroots that are saying, I'm not going to go to a soccer game. I'm not going to do these things. I'm going to be out here with the other freedom-loving patriots of Tulare County. Can you give yourself a round of applause? You guys are standing up. You guys didn't have to be here. You could be sitting at home, not in the rain, watching a movie or TV show, but you chose to be here. For way too long, we've given so much trust to our school boards, our city councils, our other local representatives, and they've betrayed us, and that's about to change. We, the people, must start to challenge and replace everyone and anyone that doesn't put the interests of the people first, that doesn't stand up for the young people of Tulare County, and is complicit in the indoctrination of our young people to hate our country, to say that we just need to scrap the whole idea and start over. And we, the people, are sick of it. And if I remember correctly, I know Jimmy mentioned it earlier, it's we the people, for the people, by the people. So over the last 2 years, we at TPUSA have been working hard to build a footprint here in Central California, here at the major universities, our high school campuses. And after countless sleepless nights, I drank so much coffee, and about 20,000 miles on my car, I am proud to announce we are at Fresno State University, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, CSU Monterey, CSU Bakersfield, College of the Sequoias, and coming soon in the next few weeks, UC Merced. Are taking over the valley at the college level. And I also like to recognize Abdul Alazam. He was my first high school leader in the Central Valley in the fall of 2020. If we can give him a round of applause, I know where you're at, Abdul. Right over here to my right. And just a little bit about him. When we first started the chapter there, he had 2 other friends, and he's like, man, we're going to keep meeting, we're going to keep growing. And week after week, he would kind of get down on himself at times and be like, man, is this going to work out? Are we going to be able to impact the young people at Tulare Union High School and in the greater community? And over the coming months, he was able to grow it. And now today, he has well over 50 members in his Tulare Union High School chapter. And mark my words, this guy's going to be president one day. You're going to get to hear from him next as a speaker. Very bright individual. I already feel like he's mature as a college student. He's very much an old soul, but at the high school level. And really, Abdul, you're making history, man. You're really making history here. So in the past 2 years, we've been able to grow to 18 active high school and college campuses. We've hosted countless successful events, protests, rallies. We're registering people to vote. We're having lectures. And we had our first ever Central California Leadership Summit. We had 50 students give up a Saturday of their free time and come listen to speakers for about 8 hours, mobilizing, energizing, empowering them to take a stand on their campus. During this time, we've had over 2,000 students get involved in Central California. And we're going to continue to do that year after year after year. This is just the beginning. So you guys are probably wondering, how the heck does somebody that's 23 get involved in politics? How does he get involved with something like Turning Point USA? I'm just going to talk a little bit about why I do what I do and what really got me to where I'm at today. And I never really imagined that I would be up speaking in front of people. I just remember 2 years ago, I was getting up in front of speaking in front of people in front of a classroom, giving class presentations, and being a little nervous and really hitting the gut. I'm not the public speaker. I'm more introverted, but I didn't want to get up and speak, but now I'm doing that. And about 2 years ago, I was praying to God about the direction of my life. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had a passion for teaching, education, something that was really caught my eye. My family's been in it. And when I was growing up, politics was around the household. It was kind of a rarity if I didn't hear Rush Limbaugh at 9 a.m. every morning. I know our Rush fans. I'm a Rush baby. And every morning it was playing. And I really thank my parents because with how crazy things in this world have been, they made sure that I was at church on Sunday. They made sure to value hard work and to earn everything that you do. And they really just instilled with me, like, just stand for truth no matter what, even when it's hard to do that. And then fast forward, this is really kind of my entry point into politics. I started at Fresno Pacific University. Any Sunbirds out there? No? All right, good. Stay away from Fresno Pacific, I would say. I'd just say stay away. And that's kind of where my political journey started. I started as a normal college student on a campus, and I did what every college student does in college, start a political podcast. And that was something that I did. And about June 2020, things took a turn for the worse that I thought my life was over. I lost every friend, anything that I imagined. I had teammates disavow me as a person on the team. I had friends come out and say I was never friends with you, all because I called for law and order in our country. I tweeted out, was calling out BLM Incorporated for the Marxist garbage that they were spewing at the time and still spew to today. And everybody knows this word very well. I got canceled. It was like cancel culture. And I came to a turning point in my life and I said, am I going to be a victim? Am I going to apologize? Am I going to shy away from getting involved in politics because people were calling me mean names or doing this? I said, no, I'm going to flip this. I'm going to turn this into a positive direction. You just put a fire in my belly, and now I'm going to take it across the valley. We're going to take this fight to our campuses. We're going to take it to the community. It could have just ended there, and I'm just really blessed. It's just the people that God has put into my life. I know Jimmy, we connected back in September, and now we're here today, and it just keeps getting better and better. And I just got to say, I have a lot much more cooler friends. I have friends like you guys that love our country, that want the best for our country. And realistically, people my age, the Zoomers, we're going to take this country back. We're going to take it back. Yeah, they were cooler than any other friends that I had in college, for sure. I know with all our people at Turning Point. And from that point on, I knew I wanted to fight for the students that didn't have a voice on their campus. And Turning Point gave me that opportunity that summer. As you guys know, there are many young people. I see my young people out there in the distance. Some are playing and stuff. These are the future leaders of Tulare County as well as our republic. At such a time as this, we need more young people to stand up to the neoliberal globalist agenda plaguing our country. It is well known that much of our youth have been brainwashed into believing that America is an inherently racist country, that we need to tear down the whole system and replace it completely. And you have to say the establishment on both sides has been very good at destroying any semblance of a limited government and a unified American culture. Many of you guys know the mantra of God, family, and country has been erased, and it has been replaced with wokeism, Marxism, and the worship of the individual. We have a full generation of young people that aren't interested in getting married or having kids. They're hooked on drugs, and they're the most anxious, depressed, and suicidal generation in the history of our country. But yet they have everything. And we are saying enough is enough. We are at a turning point in our country, and we at Turning Point USA are on a mission to enlighten young people to true American values. That America is the greatest country in the history of the world, that the Constitution is the most exceptional political document ever written, and that America is in fact a Christian nation. Thus, we need a religious and moral people running our country. Yes, that's good. I heard some applause. Yes. There we go. And lastly, if we don't act now, we are on the verge of losing everything our great American heroes fought for. So a little bit about what our student leaders are doing. They're going and they're making meetings like Abdul here. He's got 50 students at Tulare Union. They're bringing in speakers. They're organizing protests, registering students to vote, and hopefully enlightening young people to love their country again. And I just have to call to the young people here today. That can be you. You can be the leader that starts with a few friends. Maybe you're a little shy. Maybe you're not empowered to go and take a stand on your campus. That's a little nerve-wracking. I did it when I was in college. I was a college-age student, and I couldn't imagine for a high school student. But we need the young people. I see them in the back. We need to take up the sword on our campus. We need to take it and really make the change that we want to see, as Jimmy said earlier. And for my adults, I know we have so many issues in this state, here in the state. We have vaccine mandates on the way for our students, K through 12. The voting system, we can just say there was a lot of corruption in this past election. Our state has so many issues in terms of wildfires, and I wonder why. We have CRT and comprehensive sex ed being pushed to our students as young as 5 years old. And we have all these many other issues, but the people here today I don't see really too many complainers or too many people sitting back. I see a group of people, of patriots that are ready to take the state back and actually do something about it. Now, I just want to leave you guys with a few things that I think we really need to do as people that are involved in the movement for our country. And the first thing that I believe we need to do, and for way too long we haven't done, is actually stand with our convictions. For too long, you get people questioning, oh, I believe this, but I don't want to offend them. I think I should just be quiet. I don't want to push my values. I don't want to legislate morality, all these other terms that they say. But many of us do that, and the left wants you to do that because it delegitimizes our cause. So we have to stand with convictions day in and day out because we have to be in it for the long haul. Secondly, we cannot concede values. Much of the Republican Party and even the conservative movement concedes to the basic issues. Things like right to life, I was having a discussion before. We have to be firm in what we believe in, and we have to stay there. We have to make sure that we do not concede any more ground, or we will just become the Democrat Party of the 80s. Number 3, we have to offer real solutions, not just values. You can go around, you can be pro-America, you can be the biggest patriot, you can be the biggest Second Amendment advocate, but we also have to be able to have people that offer solutions to our issues. People want solutions. People want better schools, safer neighborhoods. They need solutions. And so when you guys are looking for candidates, look for the people that have both, that love their country, but also offer what's best and actually something that's applicable to what we have. Number 4, for our elected officials, I know people like Greg that are running for office make me hopeful, but our elected officials, the people that are here and the people that will be in office, when you get into power, actually make the changes to make it a better place. Too many get elected into office and they don't do anything. They sit there for 2 years and then we vote them in again, 4 years, 6 years, et cetera, et cetera. We see what Gavin Newsom's done. They use power on their side, but then when we get in office, we just go, oh, we'll just manage the decline of our country. So we actually have to get out there and actually use it. And it seems radical and controversial, but Donald Trump got in office and kept every single campaign promise. So actually using the power to do that. And the last thing, is an example here today, is get involved, get engaged, and get organized. What we're doing here today is a good example of that, and we just have to keep doing that because time's gonna move on and things are gonna seem like, oh, we're gonna get past this, things are gonna change, we can go back home, we can stop going to freedom rallies, and that's it, we call it a day. We gotta keep getting organized, we gotta keep empowering other people to stand up for our cause. And now to close, I wanna use one of my favorite quotes. It's one from Ronald Reagan. He said, "There is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit." Just really think about that for a second. All of what we're doing here, it's not about Unmasked, it's not about Tulare Coalition of Freedom, it's not about Turning Point, not Right to Life. It's everybody coming together for a common purpose and a goal and getting out and fighting. So let's make freedom the new normal. Let's keep fighting for the future of our country. Let's make Tulare County great again, and let's make America great again. Thank you guys, and God bless you all.